Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm your bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed.
Welcome back, darlings. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and we are here at the Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Center Cocktail Benefit, and it's August 8th, and I'm here with this distinguished gentleman, and he's going to introduce himself and tell us what this event is really all about. Introduce yourself, darling.
Hi, I'm Jim Hunter. I'm the president of the board of directors of the Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Rescue Center. And we rescue injured animals that are turned into the local vet, or the police call us, or regular citizens call us. We provide them with veterinary care, and then we release them back into the environment.
Back into the wild, right?
Back to the wild.
Yes. Do you get a lot of calls for this? I mean, this must be like a real problem now here on the East End.
Over 10,000 calls a year.
Wow, that many calls. What's causing all the problem with these poor wild animals getting injured like this?
Basically us.
Yeah.
Cars, power lines, clear cutting, pesticides.
Pesticides too, wow.
Yeah. Well, if you put poison out for a rat, you kill a rat, and a hawk picks the rat up and eats the rat, then the hawk's going to die too. So there's a long chain of events. When we do something, we don't realize the end result.
The consequence,
the consequences of what we're doing, right?
So tell me, the facility, this event today that we're, the cocktail benefit that we're all experiencing this evening, what is the main goal for this particular event?
Our budget is about $550,000 a year, and this will go as a portion of that budget. Probably about half or less. Yeah, or less.
Okay. Now tell my audience, how big is the facility for all these animals, these poor, unfortunate animals that are being rescued by your organization?
It's about a 2,000 square foot building where we have a license agreement with the Suffolk County Parks Department. We're on a 40-acre park in Hampton Bays.
Oh, it's right in Hampton Bays.
It's right in Hampton Bays. That's a long ways in the summer when the traffic's bad.
Now you have this event. We're coming from Nassau County. For us, Hamptons Bays is closer. In fact, I have a couple of friends that live there. Yes, and easier to get to. It's a lot more convenient. So, but that's a nice thing that it's in Hampton Bays. Now, you have this event every year. Don't you have this event every year?
This is the 9th year we've had it.
Yeah. 9th year. It's always a beautiful event.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice. Next year will be a biggie. It'll be our 10th anniversary.
Oh, wow. We'll have to break out the champagne, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
You will. You'll break out the champagne. I want you to tell my audience where we could go to find out more information. What is the website?
WildlifeRescueCenter.org, not .com, .org.
Terrific. Thank you, darling. Thank you.
are welcome.
And give me a kiss goodbye. Mwah. And we'll be back in a moment. Don't go away yet. We'll be back in a moment with more interviews right here in the Hamptons. Keep watching. Pink Champagne Kisses. Welcome back, darlings. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and we are here at the Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Rescue Center Cocktail Benefit. And I'm here with this very, very lovely lady who is a big supporter of this event. Introduce yourself to the camera.
I'm Ginnie Frati. I'm the executive director and founder of the Wildlife Rescue Center.
So you are the founder,
Yes, and
co-founder, or
yes,
the founder?
it was my idea, and I guess it was my idea, and then I had Jim help me as well.
Tell my audience the history of why this was established and how you went about actually establishing this organization.
It was difficult because we knew that animals were getting injured, wild animals, and there was outlets to take care of dogs and cats, but no outlets that take care of wildlife.
Oh, there's so many. I have a friend of mine that does a little shelter in Huntington. It's this, like you said, there's so many animal rescue, but nothing for the wild animals.
Right. Nothing for the wild animals until you go into Nassau County. Then there's one there. So it was something that was really needed in Suffolk County, and we saw that, and I felt sorry for these animals that weren't getting any help. So we set about getting licensed. We need federal and state licensed, finding a piece of property, which we rent from the county of Suffolk on a county park, and made it into a wildlife hospital.
Now, how many wildlife animals actually coexist here in the Hamptons and on the East End?
There's many, many species, thousands of species.
That many?
Some more common than others. There's species you don't see very much anymore, like the whippoorwill is hardly ever seen anymore out here, the eastern meadowlark. But they are out here, so there's not as common as your gulls and your robins and blue jays, but they're out here too, and their numbers are declining drastically.
Really? And it's because of us?
Well, habitat destruction is the most number one key. There's no place left for them to go and nest, and some of them are territorial. They only nest, like one every mile. So the nesting areas are getting less and less for a lot of species.
Oh, that's so unfortunate to hear that, because I love animals, and I really do. And where I live, there's the cardinal. That's like my most favorite bird. Whenever I see the cardinal, I just stare at it. I think it's like the most beautiful bird there is. Don't you agree?
I do, and they are a sign of very good luck too.
Yes, every time I see a red cardinal, I think I'm going to be lucky. And you are doing a very wonderful job, and I'm sure you are a very lucky person because God loves you because of what you've done for the animals.
Thank you very much.
What's your plans? What would you like to see happen for this organization?
I would like to see the organization be self-sufficient and not have to worry about an annual operating budget. We do work with a lot of volunteers, but we do have to have staff because we also work on holidays when volunteers don't want to come out. So we do have staff too, and veterinary costs and medicine and food, and I would like to see it run very, very smoothly.
Well, I'm sure that will happen. Do you have any specific goal for this year?
This year, I think we actually did a lot this year already. We have got a flight conditioning cage. I'd like to see us get our pelagic diving bird complex done.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
It's for loons and grebes and the ocean birds, and they need a big tub of water. We'd like to get that done this year.
That accomplished, right?
Yes.
That's the number one thing we must get accomplished. I want you to tell my audience where we could go to find out more information. What is the website?
It's www.wildliferescuecenter.org, and there's lots of information on how you can help an animal when you see it in distress, how you can get it into a box if it's late at night. Maybe the animal isn't in distress and you just think it is. So there's a lot of information about animals on there too.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much for talking to me right here at LongIslandExchange.com and Cognac's Corner Magazine. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Don't go away yet, and we'll be back in a moment, darlings. More interviews coming up. Keep watching Pink Champagne Kisses.
What's that?
Welcome back, darlings. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and I'm here at the Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Rescue Center right here at this wonderful charity event. And I'm here with Agena, and she's on the board of directors. Tell my audience how you became associated with this wonderful organization.
I was actually taking a class because I'm an environmental consultant, and I got ironically roped into being a volunteer rescuer by my aunt, Chrissy Sargent, who is a wildlife rescuer as well.
Wow.
And once you're there, you just get hooked. And because of my experience doing environmental construction permits, they asked me to help out with some of the new construction. We're planning a new hospital, as well as a new clinic facility, rehabbing the existing facility, building static cages. And so they pulled me in with Jay Schneiderman, our county exec and legislator, and asked me to help out. So then at that particular time, they asked me to board member. Which is,
What would you like to see? Well,
I'd like to see a new hospital, a new clinic. We desperately need a new clinic.
I can imagine. He told me, I was talking to Mr. Hunter, and he said 10,000 animals a year they rescue.
More, actually. I think we're up to 30 this year.
Wow.
The geese, there's a particular time frame at the end of the winter where the geese are in peril. So it's actually up to 30 with the geese. So our hospital is not equipped to handle that amount of wildlife, especially the birds.
It's where we could go to contribute, where we can go to participate, and where we can go to donate. What is the website?
There's a website, and you could just Google the wildlife. You can actually just Google wildlife, and it'll come right up.
Evelyn Alexander Animal Rescue.
Google Wildlife Rescue Center of the Hamptons, and it will come right up. You can actually make donations. You can participate in some of our events directly online through a user-friendly website available on your cell phone. And you can purchase tickets to the events and donate money directly from your telephone.
Terrific. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back in a moment, darlings. More interviews coming up. Keep watching. Peace, champagne, kisses. Welcome back, darlings. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and I'm here with Jill Rappaport. She's a big supporter of the Evelyn Alexander Animal Rescue Center, and she's here tonight to give her support. Now, tell my audience how you became involved with this organization.
Well, you know, I live literally on over 20 acres, and I have beautiful deer on my property. Sadly, one day I saw one in the street, was hit by a car, and I called the Wildlife Rescue of the Hamptons. They're the only ones that can help you immediately. I was crying hysterically. Do you know they literally took that deer and they, did what they could to try to save it. They are the most amazing people. I've had a bird stuck in a tree. They've gone up in the tree to take the bird. They're unbelievable people, and there's no one like them on the island. So I just feel very honored to call them my friends, and thank goodness we have a place to call.
And thank goodness you're here supporting them. And we want everyone to go and support this organization because it's such a wonderful organization. Jill, can you tell my audience where we can go to find out more information? What is the website?
Website www.wildliferescuecenter.com, and it is so important. Please give your support. They live hand to animals' mouths, literally.
Jill, thank you again. Always.
So much. Great to see you. Well, thank you for your support.
Don't go away yet. We'll be back in a moment, darlings. More interviews coming up right here at the Evelyn Alexander Animal Rescue Center. Keep watching. Peace, champagne, kisses.
It's been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.